it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets, and welcome to the 500 subscriber hop in honor of Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations. Congratulations on 500 subscribers, Marie. That's an awesome accomplishment. And thank you all for joining us for the hop. The hashtag for this will be listed in the description, so please click on it to see everyone else's submissions. And we are going to be making this rainbow themed card, because that's the theme of the hop, today using the Concord and 9th Painted Dots Turnabout stamp set. So if you know anything about me, or if you've been around for a little while, you know how much I love turnabout stamp sets. They're probably my favorite type of stamp, and I'm going to show you how to use it. So this is a 2-piece turnabout stamp set. So you can use the inner piece, the outer piece, or both together. And today we're going to use both of the pieces. So the very bottom is called the jig, and then the top is the guide, which is what I have in my hand right now. So what you do is you line up the X on the guide with the X on the jig, and then line up the stamp with the guide. Make sure that they're as perfect as you can get them. And then you're going to use a tool like the Misty or the Tim Holtz stamp platform or the Hampton Arts Stamp Perfect, something like that. You're going to put it on the lid, pick it up, and then you're going to put your paper down. What I found works best for me is a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet of paper. Now you can go vertical or horizontal. I put a little bit of repositionable tape on here, but that doesn't really stick, so I haven't done this in a while, and I realized it later on that it doesn't really stick, but I only put it on 2 corners, so it could have been my fault. So we're going to be doing these in rainbow order. Now the rainbow only has 7 colors, so we'll do something for the 8th color. So doing the interior first, I use some My Favorite Things Red Hot ink to stamp the center. Now you're going to see, since this is the first time I've used this, I'm going to have to stamp it multiple times. So which is one of the reasons you need the Misty. The other reason is that it helps you with the turnabouts, because we're actually going to stamp this, clean it off, and then we're going to turn it. And you'll see that in the top corner of all 4 sides of the jig, there's a number. So you can start with whatever number you want, but just make sure that you're turning it 1 turn each time. You can see the paper was slipping there. I just put it right back in where the guides are, and you can see at the very top there's 2 little like L-shaped. That's where you would put it if you wanted the paper to go the other way. So the second color we're using is a Hero Arts Mid-Tone Orange Soda. And you'll kind of get to see the pattern when I start, as more colors go on here. So there's actually 4 turns, so there'll be 4 colors for this. So again, I'm going to ink it up with the orange soda. So while we're doing this and you're watching this, I just want to tell you about the giveaways that are part of Marie's hop. If you go and comment on Marie's video, which if you click on the hashtag, you'll be able to find it, she's giving 3 prizes. The first prize is a $25 gift certificate to the Rabbit Hole Designs company, which make the amazing cottontail blending brushes that I love so much. The second prize is $10 to Doodle's Paper Playground on Etsy, and Amber has some sparkle blends, which are so amazing. I have not bought any of them, but I know a lot of people that do. I don't really make shaker cards, but everyone that does that I know uses sparkle blends, and their creations are awesome. And then the third prize is an alcohol ink rainbow design made by Marie herself. So the drawing will stay open for 1 week, and she will announce the winners on Sunday, November 29th. So make sure to get over and check out her video, comment on her video, and while you're at it, check out everyone's on the hop, and comment, like, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So sorry, the yellow color was MFT's Daffodil, and the green color is MFT Gumdrop Green. And again, I'm just doing the same thing that I've done for all the other ones and stamping that down. So to show you guys again, we're also going to do the outer turn. Now to me, those look like gumdrops. I kind of like that. I kind of wish I had stopped there, but because I mess up a little bit here. So now you can see I put the guide down on top of the jig. Now I'm going to put the stamp down. You can do the stamp on the guide first or the guide on the jig. It doesn't really matter. This one, since the middle is missing, it's a lot more pliable. So when you put it down, it won't automatically go into the right areas. So make sure, like what I'm doing here, make sure you lift it up in areas, make sure there's no air bubbles. It was a little bit more difficult to put on. There are some where you have to be exact and precise. This is not one of them, so that's one of the reasons why I showed you on camera, because it's a little bit easier to do the ones where you don't have to be exactly precise. So I'm lining this up, and it doesn't matter which one you start on. It doesn't matter what color you start with, because they'll all kind of blend together. So I'm actually going to be going from the lighter colors to the darker colors for this one. I should have done that with the first one, because I just wanted to make sure all the color was off. I was just trying to figure out which ones I actually needed to ink up, because this is actually larger than my cardstock, so I don't need to ink up all the dots, and I ended up inking up some that I didn't need. But this is MFT Grape Jelly, so this is my purplish color from the rainbow. So we're gonna ink it up, and here is where I make my mistake. I go to stamp it down again, but the paper had moved, so they kind of became double stamped and big blobs. I should have just left it like this, kind of like a distressed look, but I had done it before with the other ones. I didn't put my paper back in the right places. This is where I should have used a magnet in the middle to keep the paper down. And as I'm putting it down, I know that I got double stamping, like a stamping with the halo around it. But I'm gonna keep going because I had tons of trouble. This is the third card I tried to do. I tried to do one of the more precise turnabout stamp sets. That didn't work for me. The rainbow one, I was actually going to use that because this is a rainbow themed card. So I thought, oh, that would be great. I used a 6x6 piece of paper and it wasn't coming out right. It's totally user error. It's not the stamp at all. It is me. I was just having a hard time today. And then I also used another stamp set by Concord and Knife, and I just couldn't get it was like a lined stencil or stamp set. It's called Pinstripe Background. That didn't work either for me. So this is the third attempt at a card, and I was like, I am not stopping now. So that color was MFT Purple Rain, and then we're also going to use Hero Arts Mid-Tone in Navy. And then the last one that we're going to do, we're actually going to heat emboss. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, what color I wanted to do. I decided to heat emboss with some Zing metallic gold powder. So I'm using my Versamark ink to ink up the background. Now, I didn't get a great impression on it, and I probably should have done it a second time, but I was afraid of the halo stamping again, so I didn't. But you're going to get enough gold on there to kind of understand. Now, I didn't clean my stamp off very well, so you can see that light blue layer is actually where we are going to put the embossing powder on. So I'm just taking a scrap piece of cardstock and placing it underneath so that I can catch all of the remaining embossing powder. It's going to look like I use a ton of embossing powder here. You barely use any, so you just can throw that back into the pot. Now, I did not use any type of embossing bag or even a dryer sheet or anything like that. I did find some dryer sheets in my laundry room. I don't use dryer sheets anymore, so I totally could have used that. I need to bring them downstairs into my craft room so that I can use that to kind of get the static and get the grease and stuff off of the card so that it heat embosses a little bit better. But again, it is what it is. If I did it over again, this is what I would do. And I know I say that in all my videos. So now I'm taking my Wagner heat tool and heating it up. And I apologize. It is connected to my the plug for my light and the gooseneck. And every time I hit that, the gooseneck shakes. So I apologize for the shakiness. Now I'm just taking a brush and wiping away some of that excess powder. Excess powder does get on other things. There are some, I guess, ones that weren't fully dried yet. There's places that I missed a little bit of the embossing powder, so it's definitely not perfect. But again, this is like a fun, artsy, painted dots thing, so I didn't think it needed to be perfect. And I apologize, I thought my hand was out of the way. You can't really see these ones because the dots aren't full. We'll actually do something in a minute where you can probably see the embossing a little bit better. So now what I'm doing is taking my Versamark ink pad, inking up a piece of white cardstock, and taking that same embossing powder out because we are going to create our own paper to do a die cut. So that Celebrate die cut, I believe, is from MFT. And I didn't create a large enough area for the word Celebrate, so I actually have to go back in and just kind of use my Versamark on the corners. But we are going to do something that I don't normally do. We're going to ink this up twice. We're going to do 2 layers to this. So I'm going to add a little bit more of that embossing powder, but there's an area where I didn't get, like you can see on the top left, it's lighter and I didn't get everything on there. So we're going to heat this up and you're going to be able to see better here how you can tell when something is heated, I believe. So there you go. You can see how it's nice and shiny. It has that metallic look. And I apologize again, you really just see the heat gun. I thought that I did a better job of this. I apologize. So there's one little spot. I think that was like a fingerprint or something. I don't know. It didn't fully come out. So now I see that I can fit that on there, but I actually want to do a second layer. So I waited a couple seconds for it to cool down, going to put the Versamark back on top of it, sprinkle some more embossing powder down, and then we're going to heat this up again. You can do this many, many times, and the more times you do it, the more it looks like some embellishments that I can't exactly describe them, but it starts to get really thick and it starts to become, I don't know, you can probably see it in the finalized card, but the more times you do it, the thicker it becomes and it actually has a cool texture to it. So we're heating the whole thing up. It actually smooths out the more times you do it. If there's like bumps and stuff, heat it up a second time, do a second layer because it will come out good. The only thing is there's that like little thumbprint there. So now I ran those through my Cuttlebug, and I also ran a piece, there's like a bubble that goes around Celebrate, and I ran that through with some 110-pound black cardstock because that was the scrap that I had left. And I'm using my MFT On Point Precision Glue to glue the letters down. Now, I probably should have run these through the Cuttlebug twice because with it being so thick, it cut out most of the parts, but the L you can see on the right hand part of the loop, it kind of broke. I will go back and glue that in a minute. But it didn't exactly cut all the way through easily on everything. I probably should have done it a second time. And if you have a Xyron sticker maker, this would have been a great die to use it on. I wasn't thinking that all of the letters would be separate, so taking my time to glue all of this down. I did leave this in. I don't know why I did. I mean, it's repetitive, but I could have cut it out. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this hashtag hop. If you don't know how hashtag hop works, please click on the hashtag in the video description and it'll bring up all of the participants on this hop. We are instructed to put that in our video description so that everybody's videos will show up. And instead of I link to everybody or link to the next person and then that person links to the next person, this is a hashtag hop. So that's what you'll do. Just click on the hashtag and see everything. And again, the contest will stay open for a week. So I hope that you comment and participate and you like this whole entire hop. So I'm going to use my ATG gun after I've put the sentiment on the front of it. I probably should have put some ATG in the middle because it was a little warped from the heat embossing, but that's the card for today. And now you're going to see 2 close-ups of the card. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this hop, and I will see you again real soon for another video. Bye!